Hey, welcome to the In-Laws We Trust podcast. I'm Ashley.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Kai.
And we're going to kick off our mini-series, Seasons of Change. And I'm in the hot seat today. So they're going to ask me questions about a particular moment of change in my life. And today the topic that I'm thinking of is relationships in general, of people who are coming in and out of your life, whether to stay for a season or to stay there longer than that.
Yeah.
And so I am a little bit nervous. So
no need to be nervous. You
throw
got
the
this.
questions at me.
We're just
You got
vibing.
this.
We're just
Yeah.
talking.
As we do here at In-Laws We Trust.
Definitely. So this is your moment. Living it, you know? All right. So first question, when things in your life are out of harmony, how do you go about restoring it?
What I have a really hard time with is letting people go
Mm-hmm.
and cutting people off.
Yeah.
I am so bad at that. Like, I think I'll just, this is really bad to say. And I think I'm growing from that. But I feel like even if I'm not treated that well.
I get it.
Like, yeah, or if I feel like, maybe we're not really aligned and we're out of harmony.
Yeah.
Like, I'll still keep you around. Like,
Ooh.
if you're just going to be there. So it happens to me a lot. Is like, I get kicked out of people's life. And I'm like, I am the problem. But what did I do? And no one tells me what I do. And I'm like, now I have to reflect. And so I think I get out of harmony, like with people, sometimes when I don't realize it. But sometimes I think in the situations that I'm thinking of, it's like, yeah, I can kind of like pick up signs. And sometimes they just blindside me.
Yeah.
And what I really have to reflect on afterwards, because we are not entitled to closure from other people. And we don't really are entitled to answers all the time. That I realize I'm out of harmony with myself.
Yeah.
And like however I was in that relationship or friendship, I should say. And when that happens, I kind of like turn inwards into myself. As we talked about in another episode, I turtle myself.
Yeah.
I go back into my little shell, and then I'm like, I'm scared of like meeting other people and then like expanding, because like what can I do to bring back balance?
Right.
And so anyway, my answer to that question, I would say I just do a lot of journaling, and then I talk to other people too, to go over like situations and be like, what could I have done differently, or like what are the blind spots? And with people that I do trust already, and I've already established that friendship. And then if I can, I would reach out to the person and then be like, can we go back into harmony?
Yeah.
But a lot of the times that doesn't happen, because then I also weenie out, and then I get like scared of the rejection. Man, this is a really long-winded, very
No.
way of saying
This
it,
is
but
good.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense still.
Yeah.
And very relatable.
I have questions, so we're gonna.
So now we're out of. So
Get into it.
trying to get back into harmony with myself is just, I think trying to reflect on the situation and trying to improve, because at least whoever comes around next in my space, in my circle, I can try to be a better friend to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's all I have to say on
I'm
that.
definitely like trying to take what you've learned and then what you've experienced, bring some of that into the next potential like relationship or friendship, and figure out like how am I going to avoid that, right? Is that kind of like the track?
Yeah.
But also what I'm hearing is like it's a moment where like it puts you in a spot, oh, this is tough, and then you have to just kind of go back inside and kind of reevaluate things for yourself. Yeah.
Yes. And what I want to work on, though, is like, I know the only factor I have is myself in these situations. But I also know sometimes, like, not sometimes, it's true. It's every relationship is 50-50. So I'm trying to be kinder to myself and be like, okay, I'm not fully at fault for whatever happened. And usually, again, like from the past, like, it's not necessarily one thing that happened. It was also like just, I think, gradual things. And yeah, I'm just trying to be better at like being kinder to myself.
Yeah.
And then also understanding, like, you know, there are things the other person could have also done to some degree.
Yeah.
Would I know what that is? No, because we don't talk.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're there for a season.
I imagine that when you are trying to keep them in your life, even after you know they've hurt you, that's like a really hard position to be in. And I've been there too. How do you navigate through that and realize like this is not working for me, it's not serving me anymore?
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about a really recent situation. And I think that's so hard to tell when you talk about it hypothetically.
Yeah.
But I would say the body knows best.
Right.
And like,
I agree.
if that's like when that situation comes about, it's like, well, what is my body saying? And like, am I subconsciously moving away from that person? Like, if that person is like, if we're in a public area and I'm located somewhere talking to people and this person like just into my general area, will I subconsciously just walk away like, oh, I have to go to the restroom, or like, oh, let me go get a drink. And then that then informs me. I am still like trying to process and need space from this person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like what you
So
do
I guess your
naturally.
body. Yeah.
Yes.
And I think, I want to get to a point in my life where, I guess it's accountability, where like I have a better mind-body connection in terms of what I need for myself to feel at peace versus like what I think I want, because it pleases other people and keeps the peace around me. Yeah, I'm very conflict avoidant as a person. So I know that like, I guess I don't like, like pushing people away like that, because, or like cutting them out of my life, because one, I have abandonment issues, and then two, I'm conflict avoidant. And so keeping the peace and then not letting people leave me, it hurts me.
Oh, for sure.
That's a combo for sure.
Yeah.
It definitely sounds like that kind of indicates why this topic is very important to you, I would say, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, the topics that we're all going to be talking about all hold a significant part in our lives. So I'm really excited to like explore that. And like I'm sure, Kai, you have stuff to talk about. I have things to like add on and wonder also what your perspectives are. So yeah. It's big. This is a big topic.
It is big.
It's a big one.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
What are your 5 values in life as you now understand them?
That is such a great question. Because I remember when I was, well, it's not even that long ago, but when I was like 21, and my therapist told me to write down my values, I had 0. Like to write down. I just really couldn't pinpoint them.
Yeah.
And
was that the first time you had to reflect and think about that?
I think that was the first time somebody was like, list them out. And I was like, oh, I actually don't know what my values are. But times have changed. I developed a little prefrontal cortex.
Right.
A little bit of that. So communication, that's the number one. Or I think that's a really top one for me, because I'm a Gemini.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Speak about it. Is it important?
Literally.
It's really important, right?
Communicating is so important.
It's highly important for us Geminis.
Yeah. Communication's one. I think the other one is respect. I am getting better at that. So I know I just said I literally let people in my life, even if they treat me wrong. And that's why respect is one.
So self-respect.
Self-respect. I think it also goes aligned with like people respecting you, but also respect for myself. And it's definitely a growing value. But I know it's really important, because how many times have I put myself in a situation where I felt uncomfortable just because I didn't want to make other people uncomfortable or to keep the peace. And I don't think that's respectful towards myself. So self-respect. self-awareness is really big to me
Yeah.
too. Just being able to reflect on your on things and like admitting when you've, you know, not done what you said you would do, or like you messed up or whatever.
Yeah.
And we're human and we're gonna make mistakes. So just being
Yeah.
aware of that. My other value is health.
Health is
Yeah. Health
That
as
it's
I'm
well.
vital.
also
It's
working.
vital.
It's all a work in progress. I think I'm really good at like being healthy for like physical and like what I'm eating and like what I'm doing to keep my body active.
That's good.
The thing I'm working on is sleep,
Yeah.
because sometimes that phone is so tempting. And I know we talked about this. It's like one of the transitioning into like better sleep. I was starting to listen to like their thermo waves.
There we go. Yeah, the
and
theta waves.
theta
Yes.
waves, yeah, and it really brought me in.
Yeah.
But I just have to like build that habit.
Yeah.
Last one that I can list: doing things with intention.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like
So
that.
yeah, I think there was a period in my life where I was like, you know what? Whatever, I have time and I could do things. But as I've grown older, yeah, my time is really precious, and everything I do has to be really intentional. Like I actually want it to become something bigger. I really want to show that I'm going to be there for a person. And
Yeah.
like, it's so funny in the ways that like intention comes out subconsciously. So I think about how, I spend my time and the things I spend my time on, like that matter to me versus that, like, I guess are not as a priority.
I see.
And so I'm learning what that looks like for myself and trying to reflect on that too, being like, okay, if I didn't prioritize that, what does that thing even mean anymore to me?
Right. Right.
Wow. I listed that out.
I mean, that last one especially is
Yeah.
it's a big one. It's very important. I think that keeps some of the anxieties or even just like the sitting and reflecting and overthinking what happened in the past. It kind of mitigates some of that and keeps you just the here and now, right?
Yes, being present,
Yeah.
which is really hard to do. And in relation to the interrelationships that I'm thinking of, it's like I feel like those are all values that play a part of how I am starting to like solidify my support system. For example, like the value of being intentional, like how like who I spend my time with has allowed me to understand like what are the support circles that I like lean on, and like who I call on my commute home. It's like, oh, these are the people that I really depend on, even if I didn't realize it. And then of course like the sense of respect, like mutual respect, and then having people in my life who respect my boundaries and respect like what I need. And communication, I'm just going to gloss over the 5, but the communication one has been the biggest, because I think the people in my life are people that I know that I want to keep around, are the people that like I could be like, hey, like I, don't want to do this, or I don't feel comfortable doing this.
Yeah.
The vice versa, hey, can we do this? I feel comfortable like expressing that and communicating that.
Yeah.
And also because of those people, I've been able to communicate that to other people in my life.
That's like your jumping off point
Yes.
to help, like you can practice with the people that you're comfortable with. And then it allows you to like push that outside of that immediate circle, right?
Exactly.
Like your home base.
Home base.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
And
great.
like having that, and as I reflect on like all the people that have come in and out of my life through the seasons, like I'm very grateful to where it is now. And now I have a better understanding of like, yeah, what kind of energies, I guess, for lack of a better term, I want around me. Versus like in the past, I was like, yes, everybody be my friend.
Yeah.
I think that's a Gemini thing. Yeah.
It's
we're
also a
social
Libra thing.
and a Libra thing. That's
we're
where we get along,
compatible signs.
Yeah,
We are
connected like that.
That's true.
No. So speaking of values, Ash, if you were going to live your life fully in line with those values, what is the first thing you would change, or what change would you make first?
I would. What change would I make first to my current situation. Oh my gosh, I would be putting my phone away from my bed and giving myself a nice routine because sleep is so important. And that is the respect for myself. Maybe I'm just feeling it right now. But
there is
that
a
is
little bit
sign
of sleep
respect.
deprivation.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a long weekend. But I think sleep. Or just like I guess just like the level of respect I should give myself for like everything that I do.
Yeah.
Like, doing like a more intentional, like winding down and rising up routine, I think would be really good for me. And I think that will help like push a lot of the change. It's just hard to get started.
Oh,
And I think like I am a very efficient minded person. So I'm really, I like to be present, but at the same time, I'm one of those people that are just like bam, 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 bam.
Right.
That I'm like, okay, let me just like do the one thing that I have to do, like wash my face and put on moisturizer. And that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, in the evenings, I do want to gua sha. And I used to. It's like very meditative.
Gua sha.
Gua sha. It's really meditative, and I like the results, but I haven't done that because I just allow myself to get caught up in the sauce. So I think that's a form of respect, though, is like giving yourself more grace to live as a human being rather than like going down the checklist of things you need to do in one day.
Okay.
So that would be the change I would make.
Yeah.
And I think again, like that will be a domino effect, perhaps, for the other things that have to do with, checking in with people and like cultivating my friendships and strengthening the ones I already have.
Okay, so we're kind of going down that path. Would you be open to giving us, like, say, an example of what struggle you had with, say, a friendship or whatnot, and like how that scenario played out? And then looking back and applying some of these values, like how would you try to remedy it, or like what is the alternative, like if you had the chance to do it?
Yeah, so I had a friend like a few years ago when I was a youngin', and we were really good friends, and we talked all the time. And I think there were times when we were in school, and so we would like talk online, and then we would talk in person, but then suddenly sometimes she would just like not talk to me, and I don't know what I did. Like there was never a communication. Maybe that's why communication is one of my values. There was never like a moment of like, hey, like, I felt some type of way when you did this. It was just literally like she would just ignore me when I'm like going to her locker, or like we're gonna go to class, and I would never know why. And then I feel like, if I had the values that I have now, I would have been like, dude, like I would have been more upfront and be like, just directly ask her what's wrong.
Right.
And I think that's a form of communication and a form of self-respect for myself and being intentional. And so, yeah, I think, what was the question again?
like if you had the chance to do it all over again,
do it all over again
in that
yeah.
scenario with your values now, how would you do it?
Did I answer that?
I think.
Yeah.
How old were you?
This was in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
High school is a terrible time.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Tough time. People don't know how to communicate at all.
It's like the jungle, right?
It
like,
is.
Yeah. That's literally the Mean Girls reference.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, we were younger and everything and didn't have those tools. But I look back on that now, like, damn, girl, you should have had more self-respect. Because that friendship really, I think, was the hardest one for me to get over for the longest time. And it was like a lot of other people, other friendships in my life that like made me realize like why that had to happen, how it happened. But it still breaks my heart when I think about it. And and I've come across other people who have similar like personalities and things like that. But I think there's just, you can't really replace people in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask, why was it the hardest?
Yeah. I think it was one of those connections that were like that felt so natural and were like very compatible. At least from my perspective. And there was so much like love and support. And also
Yeah.
you talk to the person every day,
Mhm.
like in person and then not in person. And we shared a lot of the same humor and a lot of like the things that like media that I enjoy now is she introduced me to. So like a lot of comedians, a lot of TV shows, like a lot of things of who I am now was because of these shared interests. And I think she was really the first friend in my life to give me so much like what's the word? Like love, like supportive love.
Yeah.
I see.
But then on the flip side, then I was also receiving that. And so it was really like I know I have like anxiety attachment, and which if you look into attachment theory, it's like the 4 different ways that like when you're growing up, how your kind of relationship with your caregiver is, specifically like your parent, and like the different ways that you kind of have a attachment to that person.
Yes.
So like if you're secure, for example, like you are assured for yourself and assured in your relationship with that person. And as for me, I was very anxious, and so it was like the constant need of reassurance and like feeling that they would like leave, and like that friend was like that push and pull keeps an anxious person locked in.
Yeah.
Because like the dopamine hit of getting like a conflict resolved like keeps you there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if they if they are not treating you well, but then like they suddenly do treat you well, that feels better than them just consistently treating you well.
Yeah.
And then that's how kind of like the anxiety works
100%.
and the attachment. And so I had that kind of in my life growing up, and then this friend was able to do that for me too without really realizing it. And so I just like stuck myself there because it was like all the good things were like, oh my gosh, was it just toxic? talking it out.
Well,
No, it just sounds like a toxic relationship. But yeah,
it's like, did she know?
I don't know.
That's the thing. If she knew, then yeah, it could have been toxic. But at the same time, it's high school, and everybody, I think, at least for everyone that I've spoken to about their high school years, we all were deep in it. And we wished we could have changed a lot of things that we did in high school, because you're that angsty teen that just is trying to find yourself, and you hurt people a lot along the way. So yeah, have you okay, this might be a lot to ask. Don't have to answer, but have you spoken to her since?
So yes. Yeah. Like not full conversation though. So I have this thing where like if a person like doesn't like they're not in my life anymore, but I didn't feel like we really had like the conversation of like why, it really hurts to like see their social media and like live their life and live their life, and you're no longer part of that.
I get that.
So there is like when I had that period of time in my life, I just like like soft blocked people, and like so they wouldn't follow me and I wouldn't follow them, and like I wouldn't have to keep seeing that.
Yeah.
And so I did that. But then like a few years later, so I want to say like maybe 5-ish years after he graduated, I think she followed me back, or she followed me on social media again. And yeah, and then one of us followed each other, actually, I don't remember. One of us followed each other, and then she just messaged me like this really strange meme. That was just like, which is, again, our humor was kind of always the same, so we were always like sending us each other stuff, but it was of TikTok, I think, and it was just like, when your best friend who you don't talk to anymore like follows you back or something like that.
Oh,
And I
so
was
it
like,
was actually directed towards the
Oh.
yeah,
circumstance, the
it was
situation.
the whole situation.
Yeah,
And that's
okay.
all she said to me.
But in meme form.
In meme form.
Did you take it as like this might be her opportunity of trying to open up that relationship again?
No.
You didn't.
I took it as like, well, I took it as like that could be a possibility, but I don't know if I could do this.
So maybe you were far removed from that situation and you kind of like made your peace with it, that it was just, this is kind of like, it's not serving me, basically.
Yeah. I guess like part of me was just like, like she's the one who said, we need a break from our friendship.
Oh, so that was actually like,
That was the only thing communicated. I just don't know what.
It was a real
Oh.
friendship breakup.
Yeah.
oh yeah, okay, now that makes total
Oh.
sense.
Oh, I should have said that.
It makes total sense.
Yeah.
Like
And
there
you
was
and-
actually something said.
Yeah, and you endured all that hurt. It's understandable that it's like, do I want to open this up again?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I think at that time too, I'm big on like trying to find like meaning in the way things happen.
Yeah.
And like when friend broke up, which such a big thing that I feel like no one really like, at least in popular conversation, isn't talked about enough. Friend breakups.
I agree.
Mhm.
It plays more of a significant role than say like your breakup with your significant other,
Amen.
something like that.
Amen.
Really?
And I mean,
does.
it's a
Yeah.
social thing that needs to be talked about more, and
Uh-huh.
we should all feel, comfortable and free to speak about it, and it should be acknowledged elsewhere, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because
Good.
friend breakups, like I feel like romantic relationships, they're like there's a different kind of like risk there
Mhm.
and like level of
Yes.
dependence on each other. Whereas like friend breakups, it's like one of those things where like you didn't really think that would happen.
Mhm.
Um,
And
but
the
it went.
love between friends is very different between like with the romantic
Yeah.
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
because when it's your friend, you really are choosing you're choosing them
Yeah.
all the time if you're still friends with them versus, for relationships, or romantically, it's kind of like, oh, okay, maybe this is comfortable,
It
so
gets complicated. Yeah.
exactly. So
Mhm.
when it gets cut, it's like, oh dang, I don't have that love
Yeah.
anymore.
Right.
We're not on the same page anymore.
Yeah.
So it comes from like such genuity. Is that a word? Genuineness?
Authenticity?
Authenticity.
Authenticity.
I mean, it comes from a real authenticity
So true.
when you,
Because if you're in a romantic relationship and let's say you're like married, for example, then you have like financial and like, other things, children, whatever, to like keep you there.
Mhm.
Well, I keep you there. I don't want to say it like that, but you know what I mean? Like you're like the connections are like even stronger and higher. But then
Right.
with friends, you're right. Like you continuously choose them
Yeah.
Yes.
without like having, what's that word when you give something to a bank and then you,
Investment.
no. Collateral.
Oh, collateral.
That's a weird way of saying it, but
Wait, can you say it again?
yeah. So with friendships, I feel like with romantic relationships, there's more of a lashback. There's more collateral. There's like, the level of like things that you have together.
Yeah.
Whereas like friends, like the collateral is really just each other. Like,
It's just
you
what keeps you guys attached is just solely based on your relationship.
Mhm.
Everything.
Mhm.
Okay, I get that.
And
Yeah.
choosing
Yeah.
them.
And choosing them, exactly.
Yeah,
like what you're saying.
wanting them to be part of your life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
when they cut that, it's like, ouch.
I mean, I would argue too that in a friendship, especially like a significant friendship that builds over time, that you actually do build some of that collateral, and that's what actually makes it difficult. Because kind of backtracking to what you were saying, like why friendships and breakups are like the toughest versus say a romantic. I think like when you initially get into a romantic relationship, there's something in the back of your mind that's like, this is finite, this may not work out. But with a friend like that, you didn't put any of that, maybe this might not work out, but you spent time and time, and it just keeps growing, and you realize like
That's so true.
how much
Yeah,
friendship, how much
wow.
like memories you make
Oh my
together,
god.
that it's just happening before your eyes. You don't
There's
even have
no
to think about it.
expectation.
So true.
You're
Right.
just
Yeah.
it happens, and
Yes.
then
That's
it,
it.
it pulls you in more and
Right.
more
Yeah.
and more.
And then the moment
Yeah.
that it's like the rug gets pulled from under you, that you're just blindsided. You're just like,
Mhm.
oh my God, what the heck? Like,
Mm.
and you don't realize how much time like passed and how much of a significant impact it had in your life.
Mhm.
That's where I could probably throw it in there why it is that important, even more important than somebody's like love life
Mhm.
relationship type thing.
Mhm.
Unless,
Mhm.
yes, you surpass, and you make that commitment of like, yeah, we're getting married, and then you build more collateral around like the things attached, like you were saying, the parenthood, children, finances, everything like that. But I think it's different in how it like unfolds, right?
Damn.
Yeah.
No, that's a really great point.
Yeah.
And I like also like also like Kylie said too, to add to that is like the expectation.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like and the finiteness of like, yeah, when you're entering into a romantic relationship, you're like, yeah, if this works out, then this is the next step, blah 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 blah. But
Right.
with friends, you're like, there's no next step. You're
Yeah.
just living your life and you're
Yeah.
choosing that person
Yeah.
to ride with you through all of that. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
But do you ever think that subconsciously you are setting those expectations in your friendships, that you don't
Yeah.
realize it, right?
Yeah.
And that also contributes to why, when it does go awry and everything starts to fall apart, that it gets more difficult to like
Mhm.
bear,
Yeah.
because I mean, I would assume between the three of us, we've all had our fair share of like friendship breakups and stuff. And I think, anybody out there would probably be able to relate. It's just, again, we need to like speak about it more, like, to help process and understand. And it's a very significant part of our life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, friend love too.
Yeah.
Like the unconditional love that the right
Yeah.
people in your friendship circle give you,
Mhm.
unmatched, dude.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're
They
like,
don't do
wow.
it exactly because they are like your chosen family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are actively saying like, I'm here for you with no obligation. It comes from pure love, and
Mhm.
there's
Mhm.
that kind of love is fulfills you.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah. That
Yeah.
is.
It's so filling.
Sometimes
Yeah.
that, other people that later come in your life cannot match. You cannot
Mhm.
like replicate that,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And especially when you have like the really old, like long ones, you're like it's like the level of how long you've known me. Like obviously, like it's not always the length of it. I mean more like you've really seen me in so many different versions of
Yeah,
myself.
that's the part.
And like that sense of familiarity, because you know who you are with like your family versus who you are with your friends.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Usually not always the same.
Oh,
Exactly, or at least exactly the same,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so when you're there with your friends, it's like, wow, you like know me, dude. And like I've had friends in my life almost 20 years now. And I look, and whenever I hang out with them, I'm like, wow, look how far we've come.
Well, that's a sign of like a strong friendship too, that you can sit back and reflect and actually see like, this is something we've built over time, and look at how far we've come. Look at all, the memories and all of the growth we've experienced together.
Yeah.
And then, sadly, at some point, if that is taken away from you,
Mhm.
again, it's really, really tough. Really tough.
I'm gonna flip it a little bit, like since it feels like this is like a familiar topic, but like when that happens, like when the friend breakup happens, how do you guys make peace with it ending? If you make peace with it at all.
I feel like I haven't figured that out yet because I do have a friendship that I think about all the time. It can like bring me to tears sometimes if I'm really deep in my thoughts.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't even think I'm at peace with it yet because I think about it so much, and I still am so heavy set on like, why did this end? I thought we were like soulmates.
Damn.
Like we were there for each other in such hard times. Why haven't I heard from you? Like, and then you spiral, really.
Mhm.
You're like, how do you think about me at all?
Oh my
Mhm.
god.
Oh, man.
Like, do you think about how we were there for each other, like in the hardest time in our lives?
Yeah, I think it's a process that takes time for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still figuring that out.
Mhm.
Like, as we're going through each of one of yours, like, separate experiences, I feel like I've lived through each of those stages. And not up until recent, I think I've found peace. But I was very close to where you were at, Kai.
Mhm.
And just the thought of like that friendship and talking about it, yeah, it brought tears to my eyes and got me emotional. But there was a point where it felt so paralyzing
Yeah.
that I couldn't even, move on with my own life. And that scenario like put everything into like a new perspective for me that yeah, okay, you lost a significant like friendship and everything, and look at where it's putting you, but think about what you do have like in front of you. And if you cannot address and like do good by what you have in front of you, then it's just kind of like you're like, I termed it as I'm useless. I was very consumed, so I had to like think of how to like move forward. And I think that began the thought of like making peace with what was lost. And I think that process brought me to like where I am today. That again, and I think I've mentioned this in previous, that it's reaching a point that you can honor like what you built with that person, the memories, how much like that time signified for you. But it's come and gone. And that is again like part of life. Seasons change, and I think that's where this is all like, stemming from.
Mhm.
Our friendships, like, is like kind of like a season. If it stayed with you for a long time, the harder it is to really reconcile and like get over. But I think eventually, for like self-preservation, for doing right by the people that you have in your life right now,
Yeah.
and the everything that is attached to you currently, that's where you can shift your focus to, and it'll help. And plus, it was mainly this term, just like continue to move forward. Because for me, I know like the emotions came out when I was not moving, I was stagnant, and I just sat
Mhm.
in thinking about, damn, how much this friendship meant to me, how much like I don't know why we like drifted and what like fractured our friendship. Um and if I stayed there forever, then I was like, dude, I can't move on with life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
So would you say the only way is really through processing everything and feeling it out until you kind of get like tired of
yeah,
wondering?
I think that's a good way to put it. Like you just end up getting tired of like sitting with that feeling.
And I think too the point of being, aware and grateful for who is still there. Like I think that's where
Yes.
I'm at right now.
Good. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
every like time I have a moment of euphoria of like I love life. I love
Mm-hmm.
these people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like there was a point in my life where I felt so lonely that I didn't know if I ever had that feeling.
Yeah.
And so like constantly being present for those moments and being like, I'm so grateful. I'm so
Oh
grateful
yeah.
you're in my life.
That's so
I'm grateful
true.
for you guys. Like, for
Yeah.
sure.
So grateful for you
It's like,
guys.
oh man, you know,
That's so
those
true.
things had to happen. Yeah, so I really like that point of just being grateful for like the people in your life now. And I think that it all happens for a reason,
Yeah.
whatever that bigger reason is. Like,
Mhm.
I know that I learned from those friendships, and I'm trying to do better for the people who are still here.
Yeah.
And who have stuck around. And if you're listening, I love you.
Yeah, shout out besties. We love you,
Lord.
besties.
We love. It's all love.
So, Ash, going back to the change that you want to make with self-respect, how do you feel this affects other parts of your life?
I mean, I feel like it probably would be family.
Mm.
Yeah. Family relationships. Which I think, are a bit different from friends ones because it's not really chosen. You just got plopped in there.
Yeah.
And I think that if I apply that level of respect for myself, because I think especially, I don't know, I feel like it's a cultural thing.
Mm.
Like you gotta like automatic, right? It's like you obey your elders, you respect your elders. But do they respect us all the time? It takes a while. I think it takes a while. And when it's not there yet, you allow yourself to kind of take it. Because in your head, you're like, they did this for me, so I therefore have to do this for them, even if it's not aligned with me or inconvenient or whatever, whatever you want to say, however you want to say it. And so like if I want to really enforce, which I think I'm also working on, especially with like family that has been the most receptive to it, is like enforcing like, okay, I just this is what I have, this is my boundary right now. Communicating that, because that is a form of respecting myself and respecting them, because I'm not just like pushing myself through and causing resentment against them,
Yeah.
because that's, I don't think, good for the relationship, obviously, and not really respectful to the relationship. So yeah, I guess like family would be the other one. But that's always a lot trickier, especially because like it's family.
Yeah.
No, but I want to get into that. The whole like
Let's get into
respect dynamic within the family, especially with your elders. Because yeah, I can totally agree as far as you ask that question, do they respect you back? And especially at a younger age, you question it just based off of like their ways of like showing their quote unquote love, in ways that they speak to you, discipline you, and you start to form like this was something I was accustomed to when I was growing up, but as I got older, it seems very disrespectful. I wouldn't do this to my like friends or like whoever, right? So it's definitely like there. So what have you guys like experienced, and how have you coped with like, dealing with that question of like, did they really respect me versus like, maybe that was their only way of showing love? Are they not at that level? They don't have that capacity. I'm curious.
You can go.
I've always had to do it from a distance.
Mm.
I don't feel that I can process it and understand it right in front of them or while having conversation with them.
Yeah.
Because I think maybe when I was growing up, being in the same house made it so like high pressure and really clouded my judgment, and it clouded me being able to see their side too. Versus when I take a step back and I'm not around it, I'm in a different space, I can actually understand how I'm feeling and then have more grace towards them too.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I feel
Like
like my relationship with like my mom, for example, has gotten way better when I moved out.
Yeah, right?
And
Yeah.
I think exactly that. It's like you kind of develop a better sense of like empathy, and not really clouded by the judgment of being there. Because when you're there, you're kind of just like, I just want to do what I gotta do. But then when you take a step back, it's like, oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
And so I think, and to answer your question, like when I think about the ways that, I guess what was functioned as normal,
Mhm.
but like when I look at other people or how I interact with other people, again, like I wouldn't do that to those people, or I would say like it's something that I guess I won't say anything, or I haven't really said anything in the family space,
Right.
but I know for myself, like, oh, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking like a really light example would be like, what was normal, what, and I realized this when I started living with other people. Um, in my household, when I was growing up, was like if someone's like in the restroom, but you need to use the restroom, like
Mhm.
pound like on the door.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wouldn't do that to my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, for example.
Yeah.
But that's like
Okay,
the
yeah.
level of respect of like this is the time. But I don't know if that's also just like you have family, like on the flip side of that, like with family, it's like, okay, but you're not gonna like leave me or do anything. Whereas like friends, they
Yeah.
could like cut you off
No,
Yeah.
again,
for
yeah,
doing
probably
that.
Yeah.
varying degrees of comfortability of like
Right.
what you think is acceptable.
Mhm.
Yeah, I could see that being the case.
That's a tough one. I'm
It
gonna say
is, and
Yeah.
this is a tough.
I I would think, at some point you can reach that level of like at least speaking about it, that
Mm.
the conversation can be had. Um, I mean, if it's going to serve you, I think it's worth having that conversation. But if it's just, again, it's like you've kind of looked at all the situation as a whole and, say, your parents or sibling, whatever the case may be, that they're just not in a place to have that conversation at all, that you've come to terms and, it's like, okay, I'm going to control what I can control. I'll do what I can. And yeah, like figure out ways to, just when you feel it's getting too hot in the kitchen, you just leave, right?
Yeah.
You figure out what you need to do so it doesn't affect you at that point. But ideally, you would want to have that conversation with your parents and
Mhm.
have that, because you want the back and forth, and it gives you that chance to repair things and strengthen things going forward. I guess I'm only saying that just because, like, as a parent myself, like
Mhm.
that's what I'm trying to.
Instill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I
But
could
it's very
see that too.
idealistic, I think. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm holding out hope for it.
I think what's scary is because like when you're growing up, um, I don't know if you guys experience this, but like, if you respond like to your parent when they like are scolding you or something, then you're talking back.
Yep. Yeah.
And then you're getting big trouble for talking back. Even though you were just trying to voice how you're feeling or what
Mhm.
your thoughts are, like they don't necessarily see you as like equivalent to them to see where you're coming from.
Well, there it is. And that
Or
question is like, do they respect you? Like,
yeah.
Enough.
Or if
enough.
they say like, "Why are you crying? Stop crying."
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Something
It's
like
like,
that.
what?
Yeah.
This is my
Yes.
natural response.
Yes.
Well, oh my gosh. And what I've been like hearing, and like I have to do more research on it, but I think it's, thing is like when you're unable to voice your feelings or thoughts, or when you start crying during an argument, it's because like that feeling of like being shut down all the time, you just don't have like the emotional bandwidth to really communicate what you have to say with confidence, that you're gonna
Mhm.
just start crying.
Yeah.
And that happens to me all the time when I'm angry. I
Yeah,
cry.
I can remember those moments too in my childhood. Like, I knew it was my moment to say something, but the emotions, the crying, the tears, like came out first.
Mhm.
And then you get choked up that it's like you cannot put your words out there. And then I felt like that was somebody else's like way to be like, well, what, you're gonna keep crying? Like you can't say anything? Like that's where, like, you didn't give enough space and enough of that time. Okay, these are your emotions. Let it come out. And then let me hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
I don't think that was present, I
No.
would say. Yeah. And that is going to be an internal question regarding this topic of respect. Like that particular example, is that a sign of like showing respect back and forth?
Yeah, and so now that you're an adult and like you have kind of that somewhat equal standing,
Mhm.
the ability to actually say something and express that, I don't know. I feel like you're like that little kid again, and you're gonna
Mhm.
get scolded again.
Yeah.
You know.
I think that's natural too. Just because I'm sure like you feel a certain type of way when you're amongst friends, you're around your colleagues at work, adults. You're having that conversation, but then when you're in the presence of your parents, just instincts, just
Mm-hmm.
like a kid again.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that also, speaks to how much growth you make in flipping that around and not letting that be present as much anymore, so that it gives you more options. It gives you more
Mhm.
opportunity to have conversations, speak up about like maybe just what is present in that relationship with your
Mhm.
parents,
Yeah.
you know? So in closing,
Mhm.
like, do you have anything like any remarks or any some kind of advice that you would give to somebody out there, who is resonating with some of this, like, just based off of like what we've talked about today and other things that you've learned?
Even though it hurts a lot right now when you lose those friendships, there's a reason for that. I
Mhm.
know that's really general, but I truly believe that like the people who have come after, this particular friendship anecdote that I'm thinking of, they've made my life so much brighter.
Mm.
And have never, stopped talking to me for like a week for no reason. And
Mhm.
have been always receptive to me and have been with me through all these changes and ebbs and flows, and I know want to be there in my life in the future. And whether you have those people in your life right now or not, they'll come.
Yeah.
We constantly change as people,
Yeah.
and I think there's a certain tier where we kind of slow on growth maybe a little bit more, and that's when those people will really really stick around. And in closing, friends. Well, these are one of many
Ooh.
friends. I just happen to have a mug where like some of my really really good friends are.
No, I love that.
That's so
Yeah.
cute.
We one of them sent it to all of us for Christmas.
Aww.
This is my little coffee mug to my Franz.
Very fitting.
Which, if you want to listen to another podcast, Growing with Franz
Yeah.
on Spotify. This is our logo.
So cool.
I think I just started my subscription with the channel, so
Oh, what?
yeah.
It's been dead for 4 years.
But hey, you know what? There could be gems along the way
Yeah.
and everything. You can't,
There was a time in
But
our
we're-
life for sure we
yeah.
captured what it was like to navigate some stuff in our early 20s, right when the pandemic happened.
Oh,
And,
that's really that's a time though.
Yeah.
hot
To be
time.
able to look back on. I'm really glad that you
Yeah.
have that.
Yeah.
'Cause when are we
Yes.
gonna go through a pandemic again? Hopefully
Hopefully
not.
not.
Yeah.
Hopefully not. But it's definitely a time capsule. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
watched a few of the episodes back and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy.
What a
much,
time.
how much has changed? And just going back to the topic where it's like, chosen family. Like these are the people
Mhm.
who will see so many different versions of you
Right.
and will stick
Yeah.
around for that. Because I look at that and, what we wanted and like what we said, like it's still there in the
Mhm.
present, but it also
Mhm.
has just changed shape.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. A little more refinement, maybe a
Yeah.
little bit more evolution in that,
Yeah.
topic. But
Yeah.
From the advice that you just gave to someone who may be going through this, I mean, I'm also someone.
no.
You are.
And I think it made me realize that maybe if you're holding on so much to something that was lost a long time ago, you're missing out on what's here
Yeah.
and what
Yeah.
could come. So
Agree.
there's peace in that too.
Yes, absolutely. I would say, with that person, um, the friendships that came out of it, well, one of them ended up being my relationship. So
Oh wow.
because if that didn't happen, like a certain situation didn't, I guess when the friend breakup really happened, like the solidifying of it, I would not have gone to a thing with my current significant other,
Right.
and he wouldn't have developed feelings, and I wouldn't have developed feelings.
Oh, there
So
you go.
truly, the person not going, she and I not going to the show together, and me bringing my significant other as friends instead, opened up that whole thing. So
There you go.
now we're here.
Nice.
So if it wasn't for that friend breakup, we
Yeah.
wouldn't be in this podcast
Yeah.
right now.
Such is
Yes.
life. Such is life. That's
For a
like,
reason.
with loss comes
Gain.
gain. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
something grows from it for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You get stronger.
Yeah.
Gains.
Gains. I need to work on that.
Love it.
Love it. Yeah, so little shout out to my little mug friends, my friends, and then also my other friends who know who you are.
There you go. Thank you, Ash, for like sharing and
Yes.
getting vulnerable, allowing
you.
us to be vulnerable with you.
Yeah, the
Thank
seat was
you.
really hot.
Mhm.
I would say
I can feel it.
it's warm.
Mhm. Yes. Well, thank you for your honesty and your experiences too, because I know we can all learn from it.
Yeah.
Yes, and thank you for sharing yours and relating and bringing the conversation where it was.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do the laws for these mini-series because it's a mini-series, a little different thing.
That's what mini series are.
Yeah, a little diversion from the regular
Mhm.
norm.
Yeah.
Spice it up.
Spice it up.
How about this? What's your favorite spice?
Oh, okay. Mini law. Let's get it.
I don't cook, so
Got you there.
like I wouldn't
Dang.
know. Maybe you guys should go first, and I can.
I mean, think about even your favorite dish, something
Yeah.
that stands out in that dish. There's got to be one ingredient,
Spice.
you know?
A spice?
Yeah, that gives it that flavor.
There's salt.
Like garlic salt.
pepper. Oh, garlic
Garlic
salt.
That's a spice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love garlic salt.
there you go.
Garlic salt's good. Ooh,
Mhm.
especially on a steak.
Mm.
Garlic salt on rice.
Oh,
That's a childhood thing for me. Like for some reason, I felt like Lola. Shout out to my Lola.
Shout out to Lola.
She minced up the garlic, but then tossed in the garlic salt, and it was just like
Oh.
I could just eat the rice by itself.
That's
That was just
changer.
Yeah. like that's how you know somebody loves you. You
Mm.
throw in that
the garlic
that
salt.
garlic, yeah.
Oh,
Sure,
garlic salt with
That's
the garlic
that's a love
fried
language.
rice?
Yeah.
Aw.
Okay, I'm gonna try that next time.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
Mhm.
Get the Lowry's one too.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Okay.
Green top, everything. Yeah.
I know that one.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your spice? Garlic salt's good.
Damn, I can't say garlic salt. But, I think in the interest of time, I would say basil. Basil is like
Wait, is that a spice?
it's a herb. Herbs and spices. Are they
they
like
herbs and spices?
Shit, I don't know.
Are they?
Because I love basil.
I love basil.
Well, you could do dried basil.
Yeah, dry basil.
So
Oh,
Dried basil.
okay.
spice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely, that is on hand a lot. And that just speaks to like one of my favorite all-time dishes, pat kapow. It's very like heavy in the basil. And even at home, if we don't got the fresh basil, like I got the dry basil, like,
Mhm.
and yeah, that's my go-to with a lot of cooking, and it's very versatile,
Mhm.
very fresh, clean.
Oh, I love
tasty.
fresh
love
basil.
Yeah, I love the
fresh.
fresh
Yeah.
basil.
Oh.
Yours?
Mine's, huh?
Yours?
Mine's is something that like I just started to like a lot. It smells so ass,
Great start.
but it tastes so good. Like it really changes the flavor profile. Cumin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It doesn't
Yeah.
smell good. I didn't know that.
it does not smell good. I feel like it smells
Okay, it
strange.
smells like ass.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah.
You gotta.
It
Yeah.
does. It really does. But I started like when I seasoned like my chicken breast, and like I put the salt and the pepper and the garlic salt and like the onion powder, whatever. And then I started Cajun seasoning. I started adding cumin, and I was like, wow, it really does change the flavor by so much. Like it just
Wow.
like pop, pop,
Yeah.
and it's so good. It just smells like ass.
Oh
And
my.
my roommate and I like always forget that we have cumin, and there's at some point where we had like 4 or 5 things of cumin, and I just think it's a funny word because it's like
Yeah.
Cumin.
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Anyway, so thank you guys for listening to this episode of In-Laws We Trust podcast. You can follow us on Instagram and YouTube and Spotify and Apple on In-Laws We Trust Pod. And you could follow me at looking for Ashley _ I have a few shows coming up, or maybe they already passed. But
Maybe
anyway,
they
I have a few
passed.
shows coming up again because I'm doing spoken word stuff again. So catch me
Can't wait.
around.
Mhm.
Catch her.
Look for me.
Look for
for
Ashley.
And I'm at Captain B, Archangel Cuts, Instagram. Yeah.
And I'm at Kylie Kawaii on Instagram as well.
Great.
And with that, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.